Welcome back to another episode of Trogly's Guitars, Troglodytes! Hey, we hit 500 subscribers. That's a huge milestone. I've set my goal for 2,000 subscribers by this time next year. So if you'd like to help me reach that goal, make sure you share, like, comment, subscribe, any video that you truly enjoy. And let me know what you guys would like me to do differently on the channel. If you want me to add some more segments. I've been trying to spice it up a little bit more so than just video tours with tone comparisons now. But those videos have not performed as well as I thought they would, so if you guys would rather see something else, let me know. Today we have a 1996 Gibson Les Paul Custom Florentine. This is kind of a new one for me. I knew that these existed. However, I never thought I would actually get to play one or see one because they're usually pretty expensive. Now, I don't have perfect diagrams, but these are fairly similar to the ESLPs of modern era Gibson. However, they're a million times better. As you've seen on some of those ESLP videos, I kind of say they feel like cheap toys. This one does not feel like that. This is basically a regular Les Paul Custom. The weight is a little bit lighter, but you can definitely feel the weight in the back of the guitar. I mean, this feels and plays just like a regular Les Paul Custom, except for it kind of looks a little classier with F-holes. My only complaint on the design of this guitar is no pick guard. I would prefer a pick guard on, and you could install one, but there are no holes or anything for that, so you'd have to drill those. But overall, this is just a regular Les Paul Custom, but with a slightly different construction build to it. I mean, it plays and sounds like a Les Paul Custom, but just has a little bit more of that woody tone that you really like, so I highly suggest these guitars. My luthier has been talking these up for a while, so I thought I'd try one out, and I can definitely say, you know, he's been raving for a reason. These are fantastic guitars. So let's go ahead and take a look. The face of the headstock is in good shape here. You do have some light scuffs from string changes and whatnot, and some light dust, but overall, the face of the headstock's in pretty good shape with just average to medium wear. You have your original nut, ebony fretboard, and original frets. The frets are fairly tall on this thing, so you definitely have a lot of life left on them, and really not a lot of fret wear. The body is a nice dark wine red, kind of almost purplish in some angles. The only bad thing about dark finishes like these is you can see every little nick, scratch, and ding pretty badly. That's why I kind of like lighter colored guitars, because they hide that a little bit more. But you pretty well have got some dust and light picking wear pretty well all over this guitar. We'll run the light over a little closer here so you can kind of see some of that. I mean, there's no breaks, cracks, or repairs on this guitar. I mean, it definitely is a used guitar, but definitely not abused. The gold hardware is showing some very light tarnishing and mainly corrosion. It's got that kind of like green corrosion on it. It still functions just fine. I cleaned most of that off. You have your kind of 57 reissue style knobs on this guitar. And original 57 classic humbuckers on these guys, and they do come stock with a Nashville bridge, not AVR1. But you know, layouts, controls, the same as a regular Les Paul Custom: 2 volumes, 2 tones, 3-way switch up here. The only thing that's been changed on this guitar is the strap buttons. I'm not quite sure what brand those are, but it looks like your typical, maybe a Fender styled one at the bottom here. And who knows what this one is. I'll try to give you a close-up here. It's kind of an interesting looking one. Back of the headstock, the serial number on this one is 691042, which I guess makes it a 1996 somehow. I had to call Gibson on this one for that, but it is from the custom shop there, the very early days of the custom shop, and these Florentines can fetch some pretty good prices. There is some stand rash wear here that kind of ate through the finish there, but the side that you see is much more minor, so it's not all the way through the wood like onto the other side. But no breaks, cracks, or repairs or anything like that, and you've got a gorgeous mahogany neck here. No super major nicks or dings into the neck, just some very light play wear, and obviously some smudges from me handling it. Back of the guitar is gorgeous. You can see you've got some very light figuring and flame into the wood, as well as obviously some more smudges. That's part of coming with ownership of a darker color guitar. This really isn't like a super bad scratch, but it's kind of just like a line that it won't polish out. It is definitely in the clear coat, but it's definitely not as bad as it kind of shows up there. But you do have some light buckle wear on this guitar. Once again, it was a player. Something I missed on the top, I don't know if I can get the angling just right, but in this area right here, there is some pretty decent flame. Like, it's not super flamey, but it's got a lot of wide flame that doesn't move too much. But it's definitely a nice little treat there. Take a look at the sides of the guitar. And overall, I mean, it's just got light play wear. The only changed part appears to be the strap buttons. We'll take a look under Blacklight here. Everything's good on the front of the headstock. And now onto the body. You can see some very light nicks and dings, but I mean, for a player's guitar, it's pretty clean. I mean, it's not mint condition by any means, but it just has some very light, honest play wear. Back of the headstock, we're all good there. We'll look at the sides there where the stand rash kind of burnt through the finish. But luckily it's not too bad on the side that you regularly see. And that was just a little piece of dust that was right there. But you don't have the finish worn off the neck or anything. You just have some very light play wear, as you can see right there. Back of the guitar, similar condition as everything else. I mean, once again, it is a fairly clean guitar, but definitely probably not exactly collector's grade due to the stand rash. But if you polish this guitar up, I think it would display pretty nicely. Typical Les Paul Customs usually weigh around 9.5 to 10 pounds or more. These Florentines, this one weighs in at 8 pounds 8.4 ounces. So it's still heavy enough that it feels like a real guitar, but not so heavy that you don't want to play it at gigs. This Florentine Custom does come with its original Gibson USA brown case from the 90s. All latches and locking latch and handles work just fine. On the inside you still have your pink shroud attached. And honestly, the interior of this one is a little bit darker than you usually see. It's kind of got more of a darker magenta pink to it than some of the later cases. No case candy paperwork or anything like that, but it's an authentic Gibson guitar, I can tell you that, and this case is great for protecting it. Today we will be demoing through the Gibson Super Gold Tone GA30 RV for the clean tones, and for the dirty tones we'll be running through a Marshall JMP 1C 1-watt tube amplifier. think you might be interested in owning this Les Paul Custom, feel free to contact me on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Troglys, Troglys, or check out the Reverb and eBay listings. I hope you Troglodytes enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Take care.